Peter Schweizer's new book is Blood Money, Why the Powerful Turn a Blind Eye While China Kills Americans. Number one New York Times bestselling author, and here he is again with an examination, not just a book, but an examination and a realistic look at how we are being attacked, not with guns, but with poison. Peter, my friend, great to talk to you again. How are you?
I'm great, David. Always good to be on with you. Thanks for having me.
Let's dive right in. You know, I started out, as you might have heard there while you were holding to come on, with what's going on at West Point. It would attacking our norms, with attacking our institutions, our culture, our society. And for years, I know, and I have said it, that we are under chemical and biological attack from China. I remember black tar heroin back in the 1998-99, other forms from then to now. And, you know, are people waking up to fentanyl and what the real relationship and the importance of understanding that it is a weapon?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, look, I think there's a couple of misnomers people have about fentanyl. One of them is that it's just like other drugs, like heroin, like cocaine. The fact is the vast majority of people that die of fentanyl poisoning don't even know they're taking fentanyl. It could be a college kid who's studying for an exam and a friend says, hey, you should take an Adderall. It'll help you concentrate. They take it and they overdose and they die of fentanyl. But the second misnomer is the attention in the United States is largely on the Mexican drug cartels. And the drug cartels are really the junior partners in this fentanyl poisoning in America. It's China that's the senior partner. They not only provide the precursors that are used to make the fentanyl, they provide the pill presses that are used to take the fentanyl and inject them into the pills. In fact, there are 2,000 Chinese nationals just south of the U.S. border in Mexico that help the cartels create this poison. And the drug cartels, Mexico, use communication devices and apps. They're Chinese because they know the Chinese won't share those with U.S. law enforcement. And even the money laundering. You know, back in the cocaine days, the drug cartels laundered all their money in Latin American banks. They now do it with Chinese state-owned banks. And according to our government, in instances, they use Chinese students here on education visas to do the money laundering for the cartels. So this is a Chinese operation. They view it as revenge for the opium wars, and it is now the leading cause of death for people in America under the age of 45.
I mean, this relationship, and I want to go a little bit deeper with this, and you write about this in Blood Money. The fact that we haven't publicly heard it said that way, but recognized for what it is, the junior partner is what many Americans think was the major threat. And, you know, as you don't leave China easily, they are aware of what's going on in their country, are a tightly controlled society by the CCP. So this is communist China, isn't it?
Yes, it is absolutely communist China. And by the way, I think there are some very specific reasons why certain people, particularly the Biden administration, don't really want to play up the China angle. So the kings of fentanyl in Mexico are the Sinaloa cartel. They send more of this poison to America than anyone else. They were put in the fentanyl business and made the kings of fentanyl by a Chinese criminal gang called UBG, headed by a guy named Zhang Anlo. He goes by the name White Wolf. Here's the thing, David, that people have to realize. White Wolf, the leader of this criminal gang behind the fentanyl trade, has a business partner. That business partner in 2017 gave the Biden family a $5 million interest-free forgivable loan that the Bidens have never repaid. So you literally have, I'm not suggesting the Bidens are involved in the fentanyl trade, but you have 1 degree of separation between the fentanyl trade and the Biden family. And so does Joe Biden really want to have a conversation about China, its complicit involvement and direction of the fentanyl trade in America? No, they don't, because it blows back and implicates them and the flow of funds from certain Chinese actors.
You know, I want to go a little bit further on the Chinese triads because it's not just fentanyl, but for people to understand, that this is not a new organization, Peter. Hundreds of years of documented history, if you will, on the triads, and it goes back even further. But explain the triads in a nutshell, if it's possible, for people to understand what we're up against, and also their, if you want to call it, relationship or their interaction with the Chinese Communist Party.
Yeah, no, I think this is vital for people to understand. I mean, the Chinese triads are essentially the mafia in China, although they are much more violent, which is certainly saying something, and they are much more regimented and structured than the mafia or organized crime in the West. Their connection to the CCP emanated from a bargain that was made in the 1980s between Deng Xiaoping, then leader of China, and the triads. And what Deng Xiaoping basically said was, look, as long as you are patriotic, meaning you are loyal to the CCP and you don't challenge our rule, and as long as you don't spread your poison in, the drugs in China, we will give you a free hand. We won't hassle you. We'll even protect you when you need protection.